Each of us is just as unique as this rose. But life has this strange way of pulling each individual petal from its individual place and plucking it in the trash. For everything. Your wife leaves you, your job sucks, life is pretty crappy, and it throws you in the trash. But each one of you is unique and individual. And we will all be able to make it through one step at a time. And that's what tonight is about, is learning the one step that takes you to the next one. And that's pretty easy. But if you try and climb that whole mountain at once, that whole mountain all the way to the top, probably won't make it, right? But if you take that first step, and you keep taking one step each time, and you have the right tools, you might be able to make it to the top of that mountain. And there are a million different tools you can use. Counselors, people you can talk to, everything else, right? But until you have that tools, any of those tools, you won't be able to make it. And if you do, you might not come out of the thing unscathed. But you can put it back together. You can put everything back together one step at a time through your life. I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, so has my father, and that's part of what he's here to tell you about tonight, is all of the messed up things, but that's not why we're here. It's some of the messed up things, but that's not why we're here. We're here to learn how to fix that rose into something that is armor-plated, something that you can keep and take with you, and something that you can understand, and something that you can keep going. So without further ado, here's my father, Bill Sanford.
How's everybody doing? It's a comedy club, folks. You can say, do just about whatever you want to do. That's the way it is.
Just about.
Just about. Anyhow, glad you guys all came. It's really nice to be here tonight. It's really nice to be anywhere tonight. It is the 10th of March. On the 9th of last month, I thought for a few seconds that was my last day. Everybody really knows that I got into a serious accident, probably shouldn't be here, probably working on my 14th life, but the reality is I'm here. And anybody who knows my story, anybody who listened throughout last week knows that I've got many lives. It's tiring, folks. Having that many lives is a lot of work, right? It just is. I was sitting on the couch this morning, and I looked over at Desiree and I said, the longest journey you will ever have to take is the 18 inches from your head to your heart. And I didn't know, I looked it up online, and Dr. Anders Bennett, he's the Canadian Ambassador of Religious Freedom, was the guy who actually said that originally. It just came out of my mind. I didn't know where it was coming from, but that's exactly how I feel. Everybody in this world, everybody in this room, we all think, right? Some days. But we all do think every day, don't we? And we process. And we do all these things in life that makes us who we are. Anybody disagree with that? Probably nobody, right? We all become a certain person. Who makes us that way? No, we don't. That's the problem. That's what we'd like to do, is we'd like to say, okay, fine, I'm me because that's what I am, right? But where do we learn it? how are we molded? Childhood? Like from the day you went on your ass until when? Until now, right? We're continuing to learn. I don't know about you guys, but I got robbed of a lot of that when I was a kid. Right? It was just something that was really, really, at that time, not what I thought was right. I really didn't. I was a kid, I didn't know nothing, but I knew how I was living wasn't right. Right? I even knew what abuse was at that time, and I don't even know where I heard it. I guess what I'm thinking about here. There's doctors. There's RNs. Right? There's steel workers. There's teachers' aides. Right? There's tire buggers. Right? There's all those types of people out here. Where did it originally come from? Does anybody know how their job started? What about you, Barb?
Life experiences.
Life experiences. Do you have life experiences? You could be an RN. Right? Where does yours come from?
Life experience.
Life experience. As an EA, what she does is she helps teachers, correct?
Yep.
Be able to work with kids, most of the time, happy kids, right? And you know how kids are nowadays, the respect and everything that we have. Where does it come from? Okay, right back to the original statement, right? Where does it come from? That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about cognitive distortions. Anybody know what a cognitive is? It's thinking. Where do we get our thinking from? Everywhere. From now, the internet makes it insane. Right? Because after all, if you Google, it's true, isn't it? Oh, come on now. It's Google, for crying out loud. Okay, let's go with Facebook. Right? The reality is that if you need an answer to something right now, you're going to go on Google or Facebook, and you're going to look it up, and you're going to think it's what? You're going to think it's right. You think this thing's true, because some clown in a three-piece suit, or no clothes at all, was sitting on the bed and went, hey, I'll put this on here, and everybody will believe it. That's Facebook. Right? That's Google. And we're listening to this shit every day. Oh, there's that language again. If I drop the F-bomb, we'll edit it out. It's probably going to happen. I get pretty passionate about this stuff. Because when I was a kid, well, let's go back to before I was a kid. When I was in the womb. Anybody that's heard my story, they know that we lost a brother Thanksgiving Day, the year before I was born. And for that 9 months that I was in that oven, do you think I could hear? Do you think I was learning? Barb, you know this. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I was learning what, folks? Right? It was my fault. Right? Everybody's angry, everybody's crying, everybody's hurt. That's how it starts, right? Now, each one of you guys have a story, right? I bet you each and every one of you have a sad story, right? I hope so, otherwise you're not real. If anybody thinks you're going to come to my classes or you're going to do anything with me and you're going to leave and everything's going to be absolutely wonderful, Billy Joe, not going to happen, is it? It's a lot of work, right? That's what it is. And I'm the kind of guy who loves lots of work. You want to know why? Oh, Tyler, why do I love lots of work?
Because it was the only thing we were taught.
That's right. Tyler knows. I grew up in a home. We had 4 acres of land. 2 acres of it was grass. And we had a push mower. And it had to look perfect. We had people stopping and looking at the property. Everything was manicured. Everything was looked after. But you know what? It stopped at the friggin' fence line. When it got to that house, it was ugly. It was bitter. And that's the way it was. But boy, everybody else saw what? It was Google. Right? We talk about something else really important. The code of silence. Barb, you'd remember this. The code of silence, when we were young kids, was deafening. Literally deafening. You were not allowed to tell anybody your story about what was going to happen. And I don't imagine it changed much in the first 20 years of my life, 30 years of my life. It was always the same. Don't tell anybody. Oh, don't go to school and say that. Oh, your mom and I had a fight tonight. This is not going to talk. No. We're perfect people, right, folks? Here's my biggest thing. This pisses me off more than anything at all. I meet somebody for the first time. I go, okay, fine. This person talks, they say their thing. We have a good time, we have a couple beers. This is the nicest guy I ever met. He invites you back to your house, he kicks his friggin' dog, and he slaps his wife. What if you didn't go to the house?
See that?
You would never see it. And that's the way life was back then. Nobody ever saw it. I'll refer to one time in public school that most of the people know I'm legally deaf. I've got implants, right? I was walking, following my dad. Like this. You know, followed behind. We had a field of potatoes, and he's walking, and he's doing a thing, and he stops, and I ran into him. He turned around, and he backhanded me. I got big hands, so did that man. He had an even bigger foot. He used to turn sideways with a size 12 Triple E. He hit me in the ear. My ear started bleeding. This was on a Sunday. On the Monday, my ear is still bleeding. We didn't go to the hospital, folks. We didn't have an emergency down the street the way they do here, right? Oh, I got a runny nose. I'm going to emergency. You were tough back then. You either healed or died. You were 10 miles away from town, right? Off to school the next day I go, and right away the teacher takes me down to the principal's office and says, what happened to your ear? So I tried to tell them what happened. They called my dad. Boy, I'll tell you what. My mother and my dad came down to that school, and they sat right across from me and the teacher and said, he sticks bobby pins in his ear all day long. It's no wonder it's bleeding. We'll look after it. And it was done. Nothing else was said. Now at 54 years old, I've got hearing implants because I couldn't drive any truck anymore with just hearing aids. That's how bad my hearing is. And I had to get those covered by workman's compensation and tell them the reason I can't hear is because I'm around loud equipment my whole life. Right? That's what we do in this world, is we do what we need to do. Because heaven forbid, I tell them exactly what happened. Right? Now, I say that because distortions in your thinking come from exactly that. 54 years later, I can have the same thoughts if nothing changes. Nothing changes, nothing will change. I guarantee it. From here to here is a long, long way. And we always live here, don't we? Until it's time to live here. We lose somebody, we get into an argument with somebody that we love and we care about, and then we're here automatically trying to figure out what the hell is there, right? But we don't stay there. We always stay here. And women and men, we think differently. Just, newsflash. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, we're from different planets. Okay. Don't try and figure them out, please. Please don't do that. I do, because I'm a smart guy. Right? I will sit there and I'll try and figure out exactly what Desiree's talking about, and there'll be an explosion because I don't have a freaking clue. You want to talk about a comedy club? Try and talk about what women think. Could you imagine? Yeah, you've been affected by it. You can tell. And I know, Tyler, you've been affected by it, and I've been affected by it in the last 24 hours. I thought I was smarter than she was. Honestly. But you know what? That's where the mind comes in. Cognitively, we were told men are from Mars, women are from Venus, you won't think the same, that's the way it's going to be. Thank God somebody decided to say that. Can you imagine if that book never came out and nobody ever thought that? What kind of a thing would women just start taking over the universe and start working? Oh, she'd have been ugly. She'd have been so ugly. They think different, but we need them. Cognitively, what does that say to you? We need the opposite sex in our lives for many different reasons. But the most important is they're going to think about things different than we do. Thank God. How refreshing can that be? And how ugly can that be? Right? So, I'm just going to open up this a little bit to find out where I want. It's been said to me over and over and over, you know what, Bill? Your thinking is black and white. It's your way or the highway. Right? You think the way I do, you do what I see you're supposed to do. Anybody know this story? Okay? Any of you women like it?
No.
Exactly, right? You are going to keep your place as a woman and be quiet.
Maybe. Maybe.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Not.
You're going to keep your place as a woman. Oh, no, guys, listen. Keep your place as a man and be quiet. Because that's what you're going to hear back. Right? Safer. Safer, folks, not to. I mean, they may be small creatures, but I'm telling you what, they're mighty.
So's a Wolverine.
So's a Wolverine, that's right. So, I've been told, mostly by women in my life, that Bill, you got black and white thinking. Maybe I do. But if my thinking is black and white, where did it come from? My parents and their parents and their parents. And I know Stephanie at the back has been around people that have been in the Army and armed forces, stuff like that. Let me tell you what. You grow up with people like that, it's going to be this way for this amount of time, and it's going to take this long. Guys, you understanding this? She never ever has that problem with me at all. It is the way it's going to be, folks. Tyler, you remember growing up? Did you have a choice of what you had to do?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Right? Things have changed a lot since then. I'll give anybody the opportunity to be able to tell what they think now. I'm not necessarily going to agree with it right away. But I'll be the first one to say that psychologically, right, cognitively, my behavior is a direct result of what? What I've been taught, what I've been told, but more important than all that, what I believe. Now here's the problem that we don't do, folks. Cognitively think, okay, my dad did this. What a bastard. Okay? Behavior-wise, two things happen. We either decide I'm never going to do that again, I'm never going to hurt a person like that, and we go way over on this side, or we become exactly what they were. Did you ever notice, I'll pick on the ladies a little bit, did you ever notice that the ladies grow up to look, act, and feel like their mother did?
Yeah.
Have a good look, folks. If you're dating somebody right now and you look at their mother, that's what you're up to. Really. Do you want to know why that happens? Because cognitively, we're the same. We have that blood running through us. But you know, I'm a firm believer that it's not so much the blood that runs through us as what goes through our mind. Yes, we've got genetics, right?
That's what we've done, too.
Exactly, right? Now, here's the problem. I see this in Medicine Hat, and I've been in both countries, USA and Canada. I see it all over the place. I see it far down south, east to west, and this is what I hear all the time. So important. I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. I'm okay. Now, where does that come from? Because I don't know about you guys. When I grew up, that's what the last thing I heard. Here's what happens. Because of that thinking, their behavior is, if I just stay in my home, if I don't go out, and if I do, I just go out with those people because they're like me, they never ever get any further ahead, do they? Right? And that's the way this world has become. Do I like it? No. That's why I'm standing here today. If I can make a difference in one person's life, that's all I really care about. Right? We can pack this place out the door. I probably won't help any more if I was packed out the door as I will tonight. One person that hears one thing I said that actually goes from here to here. We will, as people, disqualify everything that doesn't work for us mentally. Right or wrong? We'll disqualify, right? Get it out, it ain't gonna work. So where do we learn? If we can't learn from Google, right? If we can't learn from Facebook, what's that? Experience, right. Okay, so, you're an RN, you're a metal worker, you're an EA, right? Is there any reason in the world why, if we were all created equal, that either one of you could do any of those jobs? Right? Anybody could. You could do anything you put your mind to. And that's the message I'm giving right now. What do you want to be? If you want to be that, and you're willing to put the work in, right, and get the education, and do all those things you need to do, you can do it. Now, where did it all come from? Where?
From the heart.
Where did all this information come from originally? Okay, somebody had to do it, right? If you didn't put a pair of gloves on, you're going to freeze your hands, correct? Okay, the guy that created gloves, was he smart? He was lucky. He was damn lucky. Oh, good line. You bet. The reality is that each and every one of you people in this room are capable of doing each and every one else's job because the information is it's all there. We've got all that information. What do we have to do? What's my job? As a guy up here talking to you, it's to tap into that information to bring it out. Some of you guys have experienced it, haven't you? I know you have, Tyler. You've experienced when somebody says, hey, pull this out and have a look at it, you go, hey, I can do that. So I don't know whether you're all going to be doctors or lawyers or whatever you're going to be here, but I'm just telling you, you can be anything you want, literally. Now, when I talk about cognitive distortions, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody told you how to do this. Okay. I'm going to ask you one at a time. I want you to just quickly answer it. What kind of shampoo do you use?
The kind that's in the bottle.
Okay. What kind of shampoo? What kind of shampoo?
Nexus.
You? Whatever's the cheapest, right? No. Okay, so everybody used a different shampoo. Why?
Because everybody has a preference.
Okay, but what if we all use the same shampoo? Would it make a difference? Because these guys think that their shampoo is better than yours, buddy. There's a nice compliment. We all smell good. Okay, so maybe I should use it? No, this is the cognitive thing I'm talking about. You use what kind of cologne? You?
I wear my gold chain on.
Okay, we'll just go with you two right now because you're right in front. I'm too lazy to look back there. Why do you use Old Spice? Careful how you answer because I already know.
Well, I have to go back to my father or something. He might have used that.
And who used before me?
Your father.
My father.
Oh,
And his father. I think Old Spice was around then. I don't know. It's been around a lot of years, right? So, you, why do you like yours?
Why do I like mine? A friend of mine came into work one day wearing it.
She had a friend, it smelled good. Who had a friend that smelled good? Who had a friend that smelled good that went all the way back to who? The one that said, gee, that smells good, I'm going to make it. Right or wrong? What year was that, folks? Who knows? Who really knows? Because the first person you come to that takes a claim on it, so there'll be a lawsuit saying, I thought about it first. For example, right here, what I wrote, I thought I was the one that came up with it. Yeah, that would have been nice, eh? No. So, you go into distortions and you think to myself, how could we all be right? Well, the good news is you all are. That's the good news. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. Nobody said you're wrong. And if they did, then they may be wrong themselves.
Or just black or white.
Black and white thinking, that's right. You know, and that type of distortion is a tough one, right? As men, black and white distortion, absolutely the worst. And women hate it the most. Everything to a woman is gray. And it sucks. Because it really is black and white, isn't it, guys?
It is.
Yeah, okay. We're not going to get away with
Well,
this.
there's yes, there's no. There's no
Yeah, I got to be up here a little bit longer, and I don't want to do this. Literally. So, I'm going to go to the next little section here because I'm kind of through that booklet, which is normal. And there's just a few things. Oh, okay. Mistaken beliefs. Life is a constant struggle. I should always act nice no matter how I'm feeling. I am nothing unless other people love me and approve me. I am not important. My feelings and needs are not important. I can cope with scary and difficult situations. I deserve to have the things I truly want. Sound different, the last one? Does it?
No.
Doesn't sound different? Okay. You gotta work for it, correct? And how do you work for it, Barb?
By getting an education so that you can support yourself and support your kids.
Who taught that, Barb?
Parents,
Who?
parents,
And their parents taught them?
their parents.
And their parents didn't have friggin' school, sorry.
No, but there was.
They didn't have.
experiences.
Get an education, it came out in the 60s and 70s. Get an education was a big thing, right?
Yeah, but then it's those life experiences that taught their parents.
Oh, exactly. So is it really about education, folks, or is it about life experience?
It's about life experiences and how you process them.
So you can go drive that truck, can't you? Can't you?
Yeah.
The fact, what I'm trying to get home to you guys is we're all the same and all the information's there. Right? Now I want to talk a little bit about communication. I've been talking a lot about distortions and everything else. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about why it doesn't work. I'm repeating myself to you guys saying, okay, what am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? You're coming back and I go, yes or no, correct? Okay. Barb, what happens when you send a text? Exactly.
It comes out of text.
It's out of text. That's right. If I send you a text, where were my hands sitting at the time?
On your lap.
You think so?
On your phone.
I'm holding the phone.
Maybe on the phone. What if I was doing voice to text though?
Well, then I guess you still gotta hold the phone.
You don't know where the friggin' phone is, Barb.
Well, then I don't know where your hands are.
It could be sitting on the table. That's my point. You see what I'm saying? When I say something to you by text, you don't know what I'm thinking. There's no way to pair. So what you're saying is, and by the time you do that,
Between the lines.
the person's already angry enough to pull your friggin' head off, right? Because you never got a chance to explain yourself. That's why it's tough with all this media crap that's going on nowadays. Because everything's, well, text them, send them an email, do this, do that. If you have it on email, you can really bend them over. Right? Wrong. Why do you think lawyers make so much money? We're the stupid ones. We let them do the interpretation for us. Right? Could you be a lawyer?
You could.
Why not?
I said it could.
Why not?
Why am I not?
If all,
I could
no,
be a liar.
you could.
I can lie for people.
But realistically speaking, folks, if you were a lawyer and I had a problem, is there anybody in here to go, I don't know what to do with that situation? Nobody in here would say that, would they?
No.
They would say, how can I help you? Congratulations, you're a lawyer. Right? If you look into the situation long enough, you will find out what you need to do to tell the other person. And what do they use to be able to win their cases?
On facts.
Distortion. Right? Somebody who's a lawyer that's trying to get somebody off a conviction is using distortion all the time. So there is a place for it if you want to get off of a long jail term, but we use it every day in our lives. Every day. So I said, when I put this all on there, I talked about the fact that I was going to talk about depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. Show of hands, if you would. How many people have ever had a panic attack? Oh, this is great. Never have one, Barb?
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
Okay. How about you guys? Well, maybe you just don't know what it is? Not that I know. Well, maybe after I'm done here, maybe you'll know.
You're too young.
See, where did you get that from?
Right?
You're too young. Which one are you talking to? Both of them.
Younger than me.
That's the distortion, folks, right there.
Prime example.
She got that from somewhere. I'm guessing it was from Barb.
Okay, no,
Excuse
my
me.
father.
He's younger than them and he's had panic.
He's had panic attacks because he's my son. That's why he's had panic attacks. The reality is, if you grew up in a really, really difficult situation, and you had real difficult things happen through your childhood, and you go into adolescence and you use something to medicate yourself all the way through that time, and you get into adulthood and you can't have a healthy relationship and you can't have a healthy lifestyle, you're gonna have a fucking panic attack. Excuse my language. Because anything that comes your way, there's that F-bomb I got, right? Everybody does exactly the same thing. It's here. It's not here. The minute they transfer it from here to here, what happens? The panic starts, right? We're just really, really in trouble with the whole panic thing, right? You've had them. I've had them. You've had them. I know you've had them, right? And you guys, you're going to have them after we're done talking here. but the reality is, okay, that a panic attack is very simple. Anybody know what the definition of a panic attack is? Barb, you might know.
When the situation becomes to the point where you don't know how to do it or how to handle it.
Okay, exactly. What she said was this: when something becomes, and I'll short form it for you, something we can't fix, and we don't know how to deal with it, and it becomes overwhelming. Correct? Did I get that straight? Oh, so you have had them. The bottom line is we've all had them, but who here has had a moderate to a really difficult one? Well, that's good. That's over halfway, right? So here's the deal. If you could find a way to not have another panic attack ever again, would that interest you? I think it's so, right? If you could find a way to never feel depressed again, would that interest you? If you could walk out of here tonight, as glamorous as you are, and you walked outside and some son of a said something to you and you did not react to it and you were not upset about it when they had it coming, anybody interested in that? You are, right? You are. I am too. Since I started applying this, what I'm going to teach you, I think I'm okay for time back there, right, Steph?
Yeah, you're good.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear, because sometimes I get way out with this stuff, because I'm passionate about this stuff, folks. This stuff works. I used to have horrible panic attacks. Des will tell you. Last year, I had some horrible ones. I'll tell you what it brought on. I'll just tell you a little bit about my panic attack situation, why it really caused some problems for me, and then I'll tell you how I fixed it. Actually, I'm going to show you. I'm going to get a volunteer up here, and you only knows who it is, because I just watched him have one today. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to fix that panic attack, but I'm going to tell you about mine. So, last summer, I was helping my nephew build his exteriors business. I went from driving trucks 16 hours a day to working 8 hours a day, making the same amount of money, so the money wasn't the issue. We had lots of money for the home, but I was working 8 hours a day, and I wasn't doing any of this. I went from working 16 hours a day to working 8 hours a day and doing nothing with the rest of the time except sit there and think. Boy, there's a parallel between thinking and anxiety attacks. Because you couldn't have one unless you were thinking. So those of you that think you're brain dead, maybe that's why you haven't had one yet. Just kidding, guys. No, really. Everybody is capable of having a panic attack. Now, I can start a panic attack by saying this. Each one of you are going to come up here individually and we're going to talk about your last panic attack. I'm going to be on videotape. Oh my God. And it's going to start, isn't it? If I'd have told you before you came here, you were going to be on video tonight and that we were going to send it to 46,000 people tomorrow, how would you be doing by the time you got here? Awesome. This is exactly where I want people to be. Because I'm going to do this little event here. And I want you guys, if you want to just go along with what I'm saying, pick something in your world that's happening, and we'll deal with panic attacks once and for all. Literally, that simple. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. So are you. Okay? So, I've got, Des, you want to get those extra stop papers and give them to those people? I think I got enough. And I want you to kind of follow along with what I'm going to do here. But I'm going to give you each a sheet, and it's actually funny because I got just enough here to be able to do it, I think. So, Tyler, come on up here. Okay. What does this say?
Stop. What'd you say?
Stop.
What?
Stop.
Well, if anybody got this up front, or have they already turned it over? Boy, you guys are way ahead of yourself, aren't you? Stop. Stop. Everybody, stop. Stop. Now, everybody throughout the whole time in their life, somebody said to them, what?
Stop.
Louder?
Stop.
Louder.
Stop.
Louder.
Stop.
You guys are good.
Stop.
Louder.
Stop.
Okay. Why do you think this is first? When we're thinking on a daily basis, what we do is go one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, and back again, and we got to get this done, and we got to do that, and we got to feed the chickens. We got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, we got to bust the tire. But we're thinking all the time, right? Stop means what?
Stop.
Stop. Stop thinking. Is everybody allowed to do that? Or did somebody tell you you can't? Okay, so everybody's going to stop, right? Now, I want you guys to understand. The reason we do what we do is because we learned what we learned, right? I'm going to prove to you guys now that you guys have the answer to each one of these things in your minds today to be able to stop a panic attack. Who believes it? Good. Don't have to stop anybody. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. If you feel better keeping your eyes open and looking and following along what we're going to do here, right? It's great. I suggest you take your last panic attack. Remember when it was, Tyler? You remember your last panic attack? Your last panic attack? You remember it, right? Remember all that? Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. What this is called is dissociation technique workbook. That's what you're in right now. It's what I studied. Basically, dissociation is simple. That's the problem. I can no longer see it. Is that the place where I want to be? No, absolutely not. The place I want to be is be able to see what the problem is so I can get rid of this panic attack. They drive me insane. The ones I had, man, they were driving me so crazy. I thought I was going to die. Wanted to die. Thought I was going to take my own life more than once because I didn't want to go anymore. Stop. Right? Okay, Tyler, I want you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with doing so. I want you guys to close your eyes if you're comfortable with doing so. And what I want you all to do, and you keep looking if you want, but I want you all to put yourself in the last spot where you had a panic attack. Tyler, you can let me know. You guys can kind of nod your heads a little bit if you're there, and then we'll go from there. You there? Keep your eyes closed, Tyler. You guys keep your eyes closed if you got them closed. If not, you can keep them open. It's fine. Tyler, what is the one word that explains what you're feeling now that you're there? Anything else? Okay. Where is the pain and where is it hard to breathe? Where is it in your body? Okay. In your chest? Anywhere else? How about you guys? Where do you feel it? Right? You feel it in your chest, in your body. Okay, I want you to stay there for a second. I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. And I want you to understand something. What you're feeling is okay. All right? It's a natural response for what just happened to you in your life. Okay, so we've identified it, right? Now we're going to disassociate. So Tyler, in your mind's eye only, right, without opening your eyes, I want you to take 2 steps back out of your body, right? Towards me, just 2 steps, right? And I want you to turn, I want you to look at that exact situation that you're in. But step out, let me know when you're over here. No, stay there, you're stepping out of your body in your mind's eye. So step out, so you're beside me and tell me when you're there. Okay, can you see the situation? Can you see both people in that situation? How are you feeling about what's going on in that situation? When you look down and you see what's going on, what do you see?
Nothing's really happening because you're not really breathing, you're not really moving, you're not really doing anything.
So that's panic for you? Okay, anybody else experience the same thing with that side where you're not doing okay, so you're standing out there and you're looking at the situation. Now look at the person that you're having the panic attack with, if that's the case, right? Or the situation that you're having the panic attack with, and look at it from outside and look at that situation and tell me what you see.
It wasn't even that big of a deal at the time, as long as I know that you're further away from it, it's not the same.
Okay, so if that's the case, what's your feelings now about looking at that situation yourself? What are you feeling right now outside of that situation?
Well, it's not the same big deal. It doesn't carry the same weight because you're not there anymore.
All right, so now what I want you to do, Tyler, in your mind's eye, only, not move, step 6 steps back further and look at the person that you are now that is looking at the situation. So let me know when you get back there. What's the one thing that just happened to you when you look back at that person that's already separated from the situation and you're going, what's that one word that you're looking for that describes that person?
Repeat the question.
Okay, so you're looking from the second step where you're separated from it. And you're looking at the first person, which is you, that's separated from it, that's looking at the situation that's taking place that's creating the panic. What are you seeing with the second person now? Because you're the third person, but all in one, you're the first person. Everybody getting this? Getting that figured out? Okay, so you're looking at the second person that removed himself from the first situation, and what are you saying about that person? They're questioning everything about
what happened originally.
So the second guy is questioning that, or are the people?
I guess the people are
Okay, what about the second guy?
that far back, you're really not even in the situation, so there's nothing for you to feel.
Is it possible, folks, stay right where you are, in that spot. Is it possible, if you're not in the situation, to have a feeling about it? It's not, is it? Okay, so you're out here. I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about it. You're out here and you're looking at the situation, and when I do it, I look at the situation and I go, okay, that guy there is watching that situation over there. Excuse me, at the time, that was a panic and I wanted to die. Now I'm standing out here, and then this guy gets me to stand back here, and I'm looking at the situation and I'm going, it's not so what?
It's not such a big deal.
Okay, so you're going to go right now and you're going to walk into the first set, the guy, the second one, and you're going to look back at that situation and you're going to say what about that situation? Now that you're over here and took that information back, look at those people down there or the situation, the panic situation, and tell me what you feel.
That's not quite as big of a deal.
Is it a big deal at all?
No?
Okay,
You're
so
not even there anymore.
what was that?
Because you're not even there anymore.
Okay, so, but you're not, right? Okay, so now close your eyes, and I want you to walk those 2 steps back into you. And into that same place you were with the panic attack? Let me know when you're there. I see him take a deep breath. Why did you take a deep breath?
Because it's not the same as it once was.
Why?
Because you took it that far back that it wasn't that big deal.
Pretty smart guy, eh? It is a different situation than what you were in. So here's what you're doing, is you're saying, okay, you can go sit on that time. Now that you're back in your body. Anyhow, so you're right here, you're in the situation, you're in the panic attack, and you go, no, I missed the step, didn't I? No, come back here again. So you're in the panic mode, everything's going wrong, and what do? Stop! If you can remember stop, it's an easy word. Not running, stop sign. Not I'll check and see if I can go, but stop. Right? Not the first one that shows up gets to go, or the guy there right away. It's stop all the way around. If you can stop, and you can remember my word saying stop, and you won't forget this. Stop. And then you take a walk in your mind's eye. And you look back at the situation that you were involved in, the first thing you're going to go is go, oh crap, I don't want to be back there again. But then you can take 6 more steps back in your mind's eye, and you can look at it and say, what a retard. And I've done it so many times. I've done it so many times where I end up in a situation and it's just completely heated and crazy and everything else. And I walk out of it, not quickly. I don't do this fast, folks. I stop. Sometimes it takes me an hour. I didn't say it had to be done right now, did I? It has to be done though. You have to stop eventually. If it takes you removing yourself from the situation that's causing you the panic attack, great. That's a method of stopping, by moving. Anybody know that? That sometimes stopping is actually moving? If you're moving along and you have a panic attack and you stop, sometimes this could be stopped, could it not? So you're actually moving. So I want you, in your mind's eye, you guys all have a copy of this. Take it home. What I want you to do is I want you to take this and I want you to put it on your mirror. Print it off, take copies, put it everywhere in your house that you have to, and the next time somebody pisses you off, upsets you, life just kicks the shit out of you, whatever the case may be, stop. Take a step back. This stuff works. Disassociation is the very thing in this world that works every time. My mentor, Kane Ramsey, he said, you're going to make so many friends doing this. I'm like, I don't need any friends, thank you. But you're going to have so many friends because once they try this, if they actually physically try it, it's going to work. Tyler, did it work? Okay, so.
I didn't do this beforehand. This is the first time I ever did it.
You've never, ever done this with me at all, ever, right? And you feel about the situation now, how? Completely different, right? Because he disassociated from it. Now, here's the problem. Life is what goes on around me while I'm still living in my head. My brother told me that years ago, I love it. But he's right. Life is what goes on around you, folks, while you're still living right here. The distance from here to here is 18 inches. 3 good times. 18 inches. Right? To get it from here to here is exactly what I just did. You get you out of your mind, you step your back, you look at it for what it's worth, you're not into the pain, anything else anymore, and it starts to bleed off, and then you work it. How many times might you have to stop in a week? How many?
As many as it takes.
As many as it takes. And, once again, stop. Stop. And you can hear a pin drop because you're waiting for me to say what? Stop. Right? Now, when you go home tonight and you go to bed, I hope the last thing on your mind is Bill said, stop, because you want that thing to stop. And you can do that when your mind is going 100 miles an hour and you can't sleep at night. Stop. See yourself getting out of bed, looking at that person and saying, why? And then picture yourself getting back in. And if you're good looking, it's okay to say that, you know. The bottom line is, you stop. And it works with everything. It's not just panic attacks. I said I was going to talk about depression, anxiety. Anxiety is what, folks? Do you know what anxiety even is, the definition of it? I think you looked up the other day. Anxiety is what? Okay. What creates your emotions? Your thoughts. Huh. There it is, right? Cognitive behavior is the panic attack, is the anger, is the lashing out, is all that stuff. And therapy is what? Any idea what therapy is? I'll tell you what it isn't. Okay? I went to a psychiatrist 27 years ago, plus, and he told me, you take this pill and you're going to feel better. 7 years later, I am in the hospital in Pinoca, and I have to stay there because I believed what he said. This will fix you. 31 different medications later, 3 years of the 6 probably altogether in the hospital, and I get put in a place where I can't do no harm. Okay, big mistake that they made was trying to treat what was happening. No, they didn't do that. They tried to treat how I was feeling. Oh, wait 5 minutes. I'll tell you another feeling I got. And if something happens, somebody kicks me in the ass, I'll give you another feeling. And that's what these pills do, is they treat the symptom. This treats the problem. You don't have any panic attack? What do you have to do first? Stop. And then do what? I think everybody has it in front of them. You can leave it wide open. Take your panic attack and flush it down the toilet. You'll never have another one. What's that? And if you don't have another one, and if you do have another one, you go stop. And eventually, it's just going to be, yeah, stop. Right? That's eventually the way it gets for me now, unless something big happens. And with me, something big happens all the time. When you're out here doing this stuff, something big happens all the time, folks. If you're, hey, you can sit around your house and play video games. You can sit around your house and you can do all the things that do nothing, watch Netflix and do everything else. And you can not work and you can not do all these things. Panic attacks, yeah, they might show up. A little bit of depression because you feel sorry for yourself for being so freaking lazy. But the bottom line is, when you're busy, you got lots of opportunity to get a panic attack. Because shit happens when you're busy. Right? I have a busy life. I got a busy wife. Literally, we're busy, aren't we? I don't have time to rub together. I'm trying to heal from my accident, trying to do all the things. I'm putting this on. I'm doing all the things with my videotaping. I'm a busy man. When I have a freaking panic attack, it's huge. What's the first thing I have to do? Stop. Who stops me? Not necessarily. She stops me a lot. He stopped me a few times. Barb stopped me last night. Right, Barb? I give her all the credit in the world. When she said to me last night, and she didn't actually say these words, but I'm going to put it in the words so everybody understands. She said, maybe you need to think a different way about this, Bill. Right? If she'd have said, Bill, maybe you should think a different way about this, in those words, I might have had different words for her. But she put it in a loving and kind way. You know what? This is me. This is what I would think. This is what I have thought. And maybe you could look at it that way. And I was able to take the stop at that point and step away from the situation. Barb, you probably saw it happen right at the table. Billy Joe. I stopped. reevaluate, exactly, step out of the situation, go. Well, most of the time it's like, fuck, am I that stupid? I didn't see that. Now, because I know how to do this, folks, I teach this stuff. It's stuff, it's easy. You think I remember to do it all the time? So anybody who calls you up and is having a bad day, and you were here, say stop. If you guys don't hear my voice saying stop, we can do this again. Stop. Stop. How many different levels do you want to hear it? Because eventually, if you do that, and you step away from it, it'll get better. Will it get perfect? No. I'm 54 years old. I got 54 years of shit I got to deal with. And oh, wait a minute. It started happening before I was born. I got to say stop a lot. You'll have to say stop a lot. People leave us. People piss us off. We leave people. We leave situations. We leave jobs. We leave all kinds of things. It's all going to keep going. Biggest lie in the world. And I'm going to close up with this because I know I'm probably getting to the time. Yep, thank you. I'm going to close up with this. Here's the biggest lie that has ever been told in North America. As sure as I stand here, and if I get struck by lightning today, it'll still be true. Here's the lie, folks. If you do this, heard everybody say this? If you do this, if you do that, if you do this, everything's going to be great. What the biggest friggin' lie that's ever been told. This world was never designed to get up in the morning and go, hey, everything's great and we're wonderful and everything like that. Bullshit. It's going to be tough. That makes us who we are today. Exactly. Right? I like the participation. I'm glad you came. I really appreciate the fact that people are putting effort into this. This is not something I can just, do this, do this, do this. It's going to work. No. Who does the work, Billy Joe? Who does the work, Tyler? That's all you get is tools, right? I will not do the work for you. I will stick with you and I'll work with you through absolutely everything, but I refuse to do it for you. If you can't yell up stop in the middle of it, you will not stop yourself from having a panic attack. Yeah, if you yell stop, that'll work. Yeah, it could be a situation where you don't really want to yell stop, but the bottom line is, if you yell stop, everybody's going to take notice, right? The first person that takes notice when you go stop is you. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. Des says this all the time to me, and because of the way I grew up, because of the abuse, because of all the things that I've lived, and all the things, she's always saying to me, it's here. It's not here. She told me that last night. It's here. It's right here. That's where it should be. Why do I have to get my feelings from you guys sitting here, listening to me here, and oh my God, look at me? Do I have to get it that way? Or should it already be here, and I decide to give you what's here? Everybody in this room knows I'm a giver. That's why I'm a giver. Because you know what? It's not going to be easy. And this world is not going to be easy. And anybody who tells you, you can go out and make $1 million next week, all you have to do is this and this and this. Oh my God, you hear it all the time, don't you? Are they right? No, they're not. For most of us, if we lucky if we get out of bed, they're goddamn cramps. Trying to get up and, the whole 9 yards. That's reality. I can imagine, one of the guys here, he works at a tire shop, and I can imagine he wants to get up in the morning, look in the mirror and go, I'm having a wonderful day today. I'm going to go and play with rubber. Really? And you can take that 100 different ways, but the fact of the matter is, you cannot in any way, shape, or form, get jumping up and down. Hey, I play with rubber all day. Okay. I used to live with a woman that used to, actually, Barb, you're in the same, right? My ex-wife used to be in the, she'd change diapers for the older people and all that kind of stuff, or even the younger people that have problems, right? So she gets up in the morning and she goes, I'm having a wonderful day. I just go change shitty diapers. Right? That's the way it is, right? That's the way it is. But the reality is, if you get up every day and you look in the mirror and you look at, Des hit me with this last night and I hated her for about 30 seconds. I did. She said, look in the mirror and say, you're okay. That's what I had to do. Now, I'm the guru up here, right? And she's telling me this. You need to look in the mirror and you need to say it's okay. Stop. That's what I said. Inside was stop. And I backed away from it and I looked at what she had to say. And today, she was right. So who had the answer? She had the answer. I had the answer here that I was going, leave me alone, you stupid. Validation
comes with inside.
That's right. Validation comes from inside. Now, if you grew up like I did, and I know most of you did, right? Validation is when somebody says, hey, Bill, you did a good job. No. What I've learned is validation is right here.
You need to wake up in the morning, you need to tell yourself you are worthy, you are good, you are special.
Oh, I'm so going to get her to do right now in the microphone, say exactly what she just said. All right. So, you said something earlier while you were sitting down that everybody needs to hear. This great person here is my significant other. That's what we call them nowadays, right? And the reason we call them that is, well, we know, because that's what we're told. Anyhow, this woman has something to say to you folks, and she's going to tell you what to do.
You need to remember that validation doesn't come from outside, it comes from here. It doesn't matter what other people think of you, as long as you know and you tell yourself that you are good, you are worthy, and you are special. What anybody else thinks of you doesn't matter. It's here, not out here.
Stop! Really? That's what she told me, and I was pissed off. Thanks, Liz. I was pissed off. And I had to yell, stop, inside my head, because what I really wanted to do was make her bleed. That's what I really wanted to do. Right? But the reality is, she took a chance to tell me what I already knew in here, but I had to get it from here to here. That's the process, folks. How am I going to get it from here to here? Somebody might say it to you. You might be sitting at a table one day, and two other people will be talking, and you're eavesdropping, because that's what we do. And you might hear them say it, and they'll come, and you go, stop, wait a minute, did you just say that? Don't say it out loud, folks. Please. They have special places for you to do that. The reality is, you can get it from anywhere. I'll tell one story, and I'll shut her down. I was down in the United States last year, and I was talking to a homeless man. And this homeless man is like all homeless men. I was a homeless man at 17, 18, 19 years old. They want to get what? They want to get fed, number one. Everybody thinks they want alcohol. Some of them do, but most of them just want to eat. Right? Now here's my favorite statement that I say to a homeless man. Why do you need my money? And they'll say, I want to eat. And I'll say, you want to eat what? And if they can't answer that question, they don't get any. Right? That's the reality. So, I'm going to ask you guys. You get to eat? Are you? If you eat up this information, not me, if you do the work and you practice this, I can promise you, anxiety, depression will fall by the wayside. Is it going to be perfect? No. But if you put the effort into it, you can be like her. And you can get up in the morning and you can say exactly what she said. And I do most days myself. But let's face it, life happens. As I said, the thing that pisses me off the most is everybody figures that life doesn't happen. It's which what? Yeah, exactly. Different levels of anxiety, different layers of pressure. Anxiety, depression is pressure. You feel it somewhere. You felt it here. Some other people probably felt it in their stomach. I feel it in my shoulders with my anchored shoulder. I feel pressure there when I have tension. Your body will tell you. And what do you yell out? Stop. If you remember to do that, you'll be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, but I could be Larry King. No. you could be anything you want to be, folks. But you got to get it from here down into here. And I'm going to wrap it up with that, and I'm going to say what I always say. Everybody remember? You guys, I want you all have a great night. Unless you have other plans. Thank you.